While OpenAI and Meta panic over DeepSeek running LLMs on Apple's gaming rig, we're here in 2025 just trying to find a CPU that won't suffocate our $2,000 GPU 1% low. While your graphics card is busy making fake frames, the real question is, does your CPU have enough cores to keep up? So before you drop $500 on a new AMD Ryzen 7 9800X 3D, let's figure out if it's worth it. Today we are answering three big questions. How many cores you need in 2025? Does CPU choice affect 1440p gaming? Is $500 9800X 3D really worth the hype? When it comes to building or upgrading PC, CPU is your starting point. More cores, bigger processor might sound like a dream, but let's be real. What are you actually doing with all that power? Rendering AI waifu? Today we're comparing super popular $500 8-core AMD Ryzen 7 9800X 3D, the $600 16-core Ryzen 9 9950X, and the $400 24-core Intel i9 13900K or 14900K if you know you know. This comparison is what triggered my personal upgrade path. Intel is aging and apparently degrading. Most gaming PCs are for mixed use. Occasionally you might edit pictures, videos, or make fancy 3D graphics. So here are the results. Blender is used for 3D modeling. The benchmark includes 3 scenes: Monster, Junk Shop, and Classroom. The 13900K is in the middle, and the 9800X 3D is the worst. The 9950X is twice as fast with twice the cores. The benchmark is for CPU, but no one renders on CPU. RTX 4060 samples per minute results blows these CPUs so hard they can't even get up anymore. Cinebench R23 in 2024 show the same story. 9950X is the best, 13900K is in the middle, and 9800X 3D is the worst. Many people use Maxon products, probably dozens of them, so these folks are very happy with the 9950X results. Puget Bench covers 3 apps: Adobe, Photoshop, Premiere Pro, and DaVinci Resolve. My job involves photo and video production, so this is important to me, and you better watch the whole thing and click that like button. In Photoshop, the 9800X 3D is a little ahead, 10% faster than 13900K. In Premiere Pro, it's different. The 24-core Intel 13900K is 12% faster. In DaVinci Resolve, 9950X pulls ahead by 20% from the 9800X 3D. The 13900K and 9950X are neck and neck. We've been using RTX 4080 as a default for these benchmarks. One bonus test I want to try is to use most popular current generation GPU according to Steam, RTX 4060. Photoshop shows little to no change. Premiere Pro and DaVinci Resolve results are almost identical. The Intel CPU is just slightly ahead, which proves my point. Look at what you have in front of you and then make a decision. RTX 4060 users should not upgrade to 9800X 3D for photo or video editing. It's pointless. Even if you upgrade your GPU first, the difference is so small, it's funny. I'm laughing. The biggest lead we saw was in DaVinci Resolve. Puget Bench tests different video formats: long op, iframe, and raw. Normal people don't shoot raw video, but a lot of people do, hundreds of them. The point is to look at that long op thing. That's your mirrorless cameras, iPhones, Androids, Nokias, you name it. The lead is only 19%. Moving on to the last application no one cares about, Adobe Lightroom. Building 500 1-to-1 previews of Sony RAW images took the 9800X 3D only 4 minutes and 37 seconds, 43 seconds faster than the 9950X. Exporting 69 heavily edited pictures took Intel CPU the longest. Synthetic tests like 3D Mark Time Spy show little difference between CPUs and GPU scores. Black Myth Wukong test results are dramatic, just like IGN's score for the game. AMD CPUs are almost twice as fast as Intel. Using RTX 4060 shortens the distance between Intel and AMD CPUs. 1080p gaming shows huge difference between having 3D cache on 9800X 3D and not having it on 9950X. For those who don't know, 3D in the name of this AMD product refers to extra memory stacked on your CPU CCD. It fetches data faster and reduces lag. It gets the job done before she even realizes what happened. Next, Cyberpunk 2070 whatever. Again, no difference between CPUs and 1440p using RTX 4080 or 4060 configuration. In 1080p only using RTX 4080, you can tell the difference. 3D cache is impressive. The 9800X 3D is 18% faster than 9950X. Tomb Raider is a very old game, but scales beautifully. Even Intel CPU is right where it belongs, in the middle. 9800X 3D is obvious choice for this game. In 1440p, the difference is 10%. In 1080p, it's 30%. Just wow. Yet, who cares? Building PC in 2025 and buying 1080p monitor is just weird. Stop it. How many cores do you need in 2025? 8 cores seem to be enough. Does CPU choice affect 1440p gaming? Let's be honest, 2 to 5% or 10% is a joke. Now let's talk about the value of 9800X 3D. But before we do that, you're probably gonna yell at me if I don't touch on efficiency for each product.
Because saving $2 a month on electric bill is worth paying $200 premium for 3D cache products.
Here's power consumption of each CPU on each testing environment. Games hover around 100 to 140 watts. Productivity workload is different, but let me tell you something. You don't just sit there exporting 3D animation all day. In games, power consumption is way too close. So what's the 9800X 3D value? It's the best gaming CPU in the market, you already know that. The alternative is 9700X or even 8700G if you're poor. And here's your cost per frame right after you smash that like button. Remember, you deserve tech, CPU that works for you. But I'll see you next week.